So check this out. You owe $1,000 on your credit card and you don't have the cash right now, but you get paid in a week. You got two options. Number one, you can just bail on a credit card company. Or number two, you can ask for your paycheck a few days earlier. Now I know, just get your cash earlier. Seems super easy. Problem solved, right?
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
J.G. Wentworth is right. It's my money and I need it now.
Wait 1 second. You think you can access your full paycheck a full week earlier without any strings attached? No. When you actually get paid and pay back whatever amount you needed a few weeks earlier, you're gonna ask yourself, where the heck did my money go? I only needed $1,000. Why is $1,500, $1,300 taken out of my paycheck? Now that's the question we need to answer. Because instead of helping you, these early access programs called Earned Wage Access, aka Payday lending, and I'll explain why, they're actually hurting you and potentially lead you into diving deeper into a vicious debt cycle. So join me in trying to unpack this interesting comeback story where payday loans, which were banned by the government, by the way, years ago. Let's find out how the heck they crept back into our paychecks, and also why some of our bosses, HR teams, and employers are in on this comeback as well. So let's dive in. We've all heard this advertisement before. If you're struggling with money, just get paid earlier. Your dollars, use it when you need it. Is your money 877 cash now, right? But behind the hype is actually a pretty dark and scary financial trap that could be bringing a lot of low-income and middle-income borrowers into a vicious debt cycle that is very, very, very hard to get themselves out of. So let's dive into a very realistic example of how a earned wage access platform actually works and how it could be the next trap for the next borrower. Meet Maria. She works full-time at this grocery store called Ralph's, and she currently, unfortunately, is living paycheck to paycheck, meaning her living expenses like rent, utilities, transportation, food, etc. is just getting so high because of inflation and just the cost of everything else that her paycheck is just not hitting it right now. And she needs a little bit more either earlier or a little bit more in a paycheck just to cover and get by. So naturally, she's surfing on the internet, she's on Facebook, she's on TikTok, and what does she see? Get paid early. Get your dollars now. Get paid 1, 2, 3 days before your payday. Get access today. And she thinks, oh, this will definitely help. Getting my paycheck so much earlier, paying off this bill, getting out of debt, it will help me and my family so much. But Maria, let's think about this here. I want you to understand the business model of some of these programs. So Earned Wage Access Programs, aka EWA, is not formally a payday loan because it's not actually a loan. It is a cash advance, but that advance comes with hidden and complex fees that allows for that company to earn revenue. And since these EWA programs are automatically connected to payroll, the deductions of paying the stuff back automatically comes out of her paycheck. So let's walk through her paycheck and the deductions. All right, so it's payday time. Maria gets a paycheck usually of around $1,500, but she needed $1,000 a few days earlier. So the first deduction is EWA payback, and that's gonna be $1,000. So then she's left with $500. But let's look at the other deductions and fees associated with this program. Number one, there is a $5 transaction fee. So anytime someone is opting into a EWA program and getting their dollars earlier, they are triggering a transaction fee. And it's $5 for this transaction fee. And it doesn't seem like much, but look, if she's doing this every single paycheck, that is $260 per year just to access her own money. Now next, there is an optional tip. And this is $4. Now I know it seems optional and you can just opt not to pay the tip, but most of the time, this is auto-clicked into the apps. And also, probably buried down below in some small section that is pretty hard to read to show that you actually are paying this tip. A lot of these apps and companies make it pretty creative and kind of hidden to realize that you're actually opting in to their optional tip. And guess what? Some of these are also put at the highest optional rate. And some of these can be up to 25% of what you're borrowing in this EWA program. So it can be a pretty hefty tip for these companies. And then, because Maria needed it ASAP to pay off her credit card bill, she wanted to opt into the instant payout instead of waiting 1 to 2 days. And to access that money instantly, she had to pay $3.99 just to access it instantly. So if she wants it now, she's got to pay up. And then because she has the app, and just like everything on the internet and on our phones today, everything has a subscription, she is paying $7.99 to access this EWA program. So let's add that up. Transaction fee, optional tip, instant payout, and the subscription fee. She literally paid $21.98 just to access her dollars. And this is just for the one time she wanted to get paid a few days earlier. Imagine if she did this every single paycheck for multiple years. You can see why this can become pretty bad, because this can end up being over $1,000 just to access her own money. So I tell Maria, you just didn't get paid earlier. You paid to get paid earlier. But Maria is not the only person. So many people are falling victim to this EWA or payday loan equivalent trap, and the stats behind this are crazy. Some of these EWA loans can get as high as 330% interest, meaning if you borrow $100, you ended up paying $330 in interest. And what's even nuts is that typically 75% of people that opt into a EWA program or payday loan end up taking out another loan that same day just to pay off whatever they owed before. So they're going from debt to debt to debt to debt. And the one thing that's consistent is the interest keeps going up. Now, why the heck did Maria think that this was an okay program to sign up for? Well, I'll tell you why. Her bosses said so. She works at a great company that offers incredible benefits and perks for their employees, and they are pushing out this big financial wellness initiative, meaning they want to help all their employees do right by their money and make smarter money decisions. It sounds like the skinny finance community, right? And also, if you're not part of this community, by the way, hit that subscribe button and make sure you join the movement of making smarter money moves. But this company she works at, they had a town hall and they introduced this program called EWA Fun, right? To where if you need to access your paycheck earlier, you can do so by enabling earn wage access. And it allows for employees to very seamlessly get paid a few days earlier. But why the heck would employers want to offer this? Well, there's a lot of pretty interesting reasons why. And number one is that it promotes retention of employees because they think if their money's happier, they're going to work better and they're just going to stay. So that's one of the biggest things. And one of the largest costs to employers is replacement and search costs for someone that leaves a company. So if they help them take care of their personal life and financial life, they think they'll stay and they'll work longer. That's one of the big reasons. But then also, it's kind of a darker reason, is some of them are using it to avoid paying employees higher wages. So here's the setup here. Your living costs, rent, transportation, gas, food, even egg prices are going through the roof because of inflation. An unexpected life event happens and you just need to pay off an accident, a medical bill, or just a credit card bill that just got a little bit out of hand. You've been living paycheck to paycheck, so you don't have the cash to take care of this emergency right now, but you know you're paid a week or two from today. But those credit card companies and those bills are knocking today, so you ask for an EWA from your employer, and they're like, heck yeah, you can do that all day, every day. And next thing you know it, you are getting paid earlier with those fees, which is automatically deducted from your paycheck and is eating more and more of your actual salary and wages. And guess what? Nowhere out of any of these points of this EWA life cycle has your employer said, instead of doing this, maybe take on a few projects or more responsibility and we'll pay you more. Like, why would they? They're just increasing their costs and their OPEX as a business. So you can understand why some companies opt into having these programs just to avoid the discussion of paying their employees more wages. So if these programs aren't actually helpful and end up hurting you and putting you into a vicious debt cycle, and your bosses just quite frankly don't give a shit, what actually works? Number one, I tell my friends this, I tell my family this, hell, I tell my dog this, you need to have an emergency savings fund. There's no getting around this, there's no negotiating this, quite frankly. If you're watching this video, literally after this video, I need you to open an emergency savings account and have 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a high yield savings account so that if anything happens in life, anything, you have dollars to pay for it. And I am talking about enough to cover your rent, transportation, food, utilities, medical bills, etc. To where if life happens, you are not stuck in a hole trying to figure out where can I get money. Now, the second thing is I need you to negotiate your pay. That's right. I need you to muster up the courage and go into your boss's office and say, look, what you're paying me is just not cutting it. My performance and contribution to this organization has been incredible over the last few years, and I just expect a pay increase that keeps up with inflation as well as matches what my performance contribution has been to this company, and have a defensible case and say, look, I'm expecting a 5 to 10% increase in my wages for this year. Having that conversation is crucial, and the worst thing they can say is no. And if they say no, just look for a different job. That easy. And then the third thing is look for emergency financial assistance programs. Some of it is offered by the government, some are offered by schools, some are offered by employers as well, but try to find grants or things that are loan and interest free to cover emergency financial situations. And then the last one, the absolute last case, is that if you need dollars and no one is offering it or giving it to you and you don't have it in an emergency savings fund and you need to borrow, there's a few things. Number one, check a credit union. Typically, those are lower cost, less vicious loan options. But then two, have crazy discipline to pay it off immediately. Do not go from loan to loan and simply get the dollars, pay what you need to pay off, or negotiate a lower payment, and then pay that thing back ASAP before crazy interest and fees kick in. I am telling you, you need to do this. But if you can, avoid loans in the first place and just simply rely on your emergency savings fund. So look, don't trust all the influencers and the advertisements that are simply telling you, get paid earlier, it'll help you out, because it actually doesn't.
It's my money, and I need it now!
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Because some of these things, if you are not a super disciplined, financially savvy person, can end up hurting you in the long run and just slowly push you over the cliff towards a vicious debt cycle. So if I were in your shoes and I was thinking about signing up for EWA program, I'd think again. So Maria, listen up. Especially those first two recommendations I said, I definitely want you, before you even get into a financially distressed situation, is to save as much as you can every single paycheck before anything bad even happens, because that allows you to have that fund ready to go in case of emergencies. Don't rely on companies and lenders to help you get out of a sticky situation. Do it yourself by being proactive. And then the second thing is you have to speak to your boss and ask for a pay raise, because I know you are a very hard worker, girl. You are putting in hours and you are contributing to your organization, and they are growing because of you. So build a case, go to your boss and say, I expect a pay increase. And if you need help, if you need structured step-by-step advice of how to actually ask for a pay increase, I got this next video for you where I show you the exact playbook that I use to ask for a pay increase successfully, and I hope this helps. So I'll catch you guys on that next video. And if you enjoyed this, smash that like button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.